Okay, so you know how it is, right? You want to know what's going on. You want the important stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to read, like, a whole book to figure it out. And today we're going to try to do that for you with Tristan Stubbs, the South African cricketer. Big IPL season coming up for him.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be watching him, a lot of people talking about him. And we're going to kind of try to lay it all out for you. Like, what is the deal with Tristan Stubbs? Who is this guy? What should we be looking out for?
And to do that, we have a great article here. It's called IPL on which basically translates to, will the IPL bring Tristan Stubbs back into form? And this was published on Saturday, March 22nd, 2025. So very recent.
Very, very recent.
So this article starts out, and it compares Stubbs to a wandering albatross.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when you think about it, you're like, okay, what does that even mean?
Yeah, you start thinking about the physical appearance, right? You're like, okay, big wings, maybe.
A nose?
Yeah, the beak, the whole thing.
Long, kind of gangly.
But the article makes it very clear that's not what they're talking about at all, because an albatross doesn't have Stubbs's bright smile or his lively eyes or that thick mop of hair or just his general passion and energy for cricket.
And it even goes on to say that Tony Dezortzi, in his Proteus Tour diaries, he said that Stubbs' mustache was a bit inconsistent on his face, which I thought was kind of a funny little detail.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting that they lead with that, because it makes you think, okay, so they're really setting up this contrast.
Yeah.
And albatross is known for having this huge wingspan, right? And just flying these really long distances without tiring. So I think the article is trying to get at something there with Stubbs' energy.
Yeah, you know, and you can see that in the way they talk about his energy on the field. They talk about his exuberant celebrations whenever wickets fall. Like as if he took the wicket himself, right?
Yeah, he gets really into it. It's not just like, oh, yeah, good job, team. You know, he's like, yeah.
Like full on, yeah.
And he's really supportive of his teammates, too. Like the article talks about how he's enthusiastically cheering for teammates who score centuries.
Right. So you want to get right into it, huh?
Yeah.
You're in the right place.
You know, he's not even out there
We're
on the field.
going deep on the
but
IPL
he's still
2025
so
opener.
pumped for his team.
Kolkata Knight Riders.
It's not even just
versus
the big moments,
Royal
it's the little
Challengers
things, too.
Bengaluru. They talk about how he's willing to
That's
quickly
right.
fetch
Saturday,
helmets
March
during
22nd
drinks
should
breaks.
be a good one.
He's
He's
happy
happy
to
to
sign
sign
autographs for fans during rain delays. Big
Even
clash
chasing the
to kick
ball in the
things off. So
outfield,
we've got
like
all the
giving it
details you need
100%,
right here.
even when it looks like it's a lost cause.
Okay, so first
it's
things
just
first.
that relentless kind of energy.
The opening ceremony
when they
starts at
get
6
to
p.m.
talking about
India Standard
his
Time.
strengths as a
Eden
player.
Gardens.
Yeah.
It's
And
no
then right
surprise
after
that they
KKR and
list
RCB.
passion and
can't
energy
wait
as
for
number
that.
one.
The
Yeah,
buzz
because
of the
they already
opening
set you up for
ceremony
that,
went
right?
right into a big
They
match.
paint this
It
picture
sets
of him
the
as this
tone.
ball
For
of
sure,
energy, but
for
then
sure.
they
And of
connect
course,
that to
everyone's
his
wondering about
physical
the weather.
traits too. They
Everyone
talk
wants
about
to see
his
a full
long
match.
arms,
Oh, yeah.
his
the
powerful
latest?
build,
Well,
his
the forecast is
stability,
saying we should
and
get
it makes
some
you
clear
think, okay, so
skies
his
after
physical
a bit of
advantages,
cloud
maybe they're
cover early
amplified
on.
by this, like
That's what we like
incredible
to hear.
passion
Should
and
be a good
energy.
night for
Yeah,
cricket.
it all kind
Absolutely.
of works together.
Yeah.
And speaking
But
of good
here's where
cricket,
things get
we've got to
interesting.
talk about Rajat Patidar.
Because they talk about his
Right.
career
Career
preferences,
ground,
right?
Eden Gardens so well.
Oh, he
And
did.
this is
Back
kind
in
of
the
where you get a
2022
peek inside
IPL
his head a little
Eliminator
bit.
playing
Yeah,
for Lucknow
and he's
against
very
KKR
clear
right
about
here
what
at
he
Eden Gardens.
wants. He wants to play
He had an
international
absolute
cricket. He
blinder.
wants to play
Just
in the
incredible,
SA20, and he wants to play in
unbeaten,
the IPL.
112 off 54
And
balls.
that's it. He's
the highest
not
IPL
interested
score
in playing
ever at this
in
venue.
any other
12
leagues.
fours,
And the
7
reason
sixes.
why.
Can you imagine?
Right.
Unbelievable.
He actually gave
And
a
now,
quote to
KKR
KKR
versus
and he said,
RCB.
I think I
Same
perform
ground.
my best when I am
Same
fully
batsman.
invested in the team. I
Gotta
prefer to
wonder
give
what
my
kind of impact that
100%
has on a player's
by
mindset,
playing
going
for
back to
only
a
a
place
few
where they
teams
dominated like that.
rather than playing in too many places.
That's a great point.
And that's so
You know,
interesting,
you've done
right?
it
Because
before
you'd
on this
think
ground,
as a
that has to be
professional
a huge
athlete, your
mental
goal would
edge,
be to
the
play as much as
familiarity.
possible, make as much money as
Maybe
possible.
even a sense of
But for
ownership
him,
over
it's
those
more about that
conditions.
And especially when
investment,
you look
like
at who
really
he's up
being part of a
against.
team.
RCB
Yeah,
50
and,
plus
you know,
Virat
it makes you
Kohli,
wonder,
Glenn Maxwell.
does that
And
contribute
Patidar's
to
already
his
shown he
ability
can rack up a huge score against
to
the
stay
strong side of
fresh,
Eden
to
Gardens.
stay at the
Right.
top of his
Makes you
game?
think,
Because
can
he's
he
not
do it again?
traveling
That's a
all
whole
over the
other layer
place.
to
He's
this
not
matchup
playing
for sure.
constantly.
Yeah,
so there
it
you
could
have
be a
it.
factor for
IPL
sure.
2025
But it
kicks
also
off
says
with
a
the
lot
opening
about his
ceremony
mindset,
at
right?
6 p.m. IST
It's not just about
at
the
Eden
money
Gardens,
or the
followed by
fame. It's about
KKR
that
versus
deeper
RCB.
connection. The weather looks
Yeah,
good.
and speaking of
Rajat
money,
Patidar's history
you know,
at this very ground adds a
obviously
whole other dimension
professional
to this game.
athletes
You
make
know
a
what's
lot of
really
money.
interesting, though?
And you would
It's how
think that would be
players'
a big
past
motivator for
performance
playing
at a
in as many
specific
leagues
venue
as possible.
can
But
really
Stubbs
build up
seems to have
the
a different
anticipation.
perspective on that.
It adds so
yeah,
much
he's actually
potential.
very open about the fact
regardless
that
of what's happening
he's
with the
lucky
teams
to
at the
have
moment.
financially
Yeah, and that leads to a question for our
sound
listeners.
contracts with both SA20
Think
and
about
the
this.
IPL.
Given Rajat
And
Patidar's
he acknowledges
incredible
that
record-breaking
gives him a
innings at
certain
Eden Gardens,
freedom in career planning
how
that
much do you
other
think a player's
might
past
not have.
success at a
Right,
specific
because some
stadium
players, they
can
have to play in
actually
all these
influence
different
their
leagues just to
mindset
make
and
ends
the
meet.
outcome
But
of
he's
a
in a
completely
position where he
new
can be
match?
more selective.
And it's
Food for
interesting
thought,
because it
as the
suggests
IPL
that he's
season gets
thinking
going.
about
Absolutely.
his
We'll be
career
back soon with
long-term,
another
right?
deep
He's not
dive.
just
See you then.
chasing the
Take care.
next paycheck. He's
All right,
thinking about
so you want to
what's
get right
best
into
for
it,
him
huh?
in the long
You're in the
run.
right place.
Yeah, and it seems like his
We're going
lifestyle's
deep on
pretty
the
simple,
IPL
too.
2025
The article talks about
opener.
how he was having a conversation
Kolkata
with a
Knight
friend,
Riders
and he said he
versus
just wants a
Royal
house in the
Challengers
garden.
Bengaluru
And that's it.
at Eden
Wow.
Gardens.
That's right.
Yeah,
Saturday,
I mean,
March 22nd.
that's
should
pretty
be a good
refreshing
one.
It's
to
gonna be
hear,
huge.
right?
Everyone's
Especially in the
looking
world
forward
of
to this
professional
one
sports where it seems like
big clash
everyone is
to
always
kick things
striving
off. So
for
we got all the
more,
details
more,
you need
more.
right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Let's
he even
get you up
said,
to speed.
okay, so
I
first
also
things
don't
first.
want
anything different. The opening
keep my
ceremony
life
starts
simple.
at 6 p.m.
So
India
it's not
Standard
just
Time
about what
at
he
Eden
does on the
Gardens.
field.
Yeah.
It's also
and then
about
right
his
after KKR and
values.
RCB.
Right,
Yeah,
his
can't wait for
priorities.
that.
He's
The
not
buzz of the
driven
opening
by
ceremony going right into a
material
big
things.
match.
He's
It
driven
sets
by
the
this
tone.
passion for the
for sure.
game.
And of course,
this
everyone's wondering
desire
about the
to be
weather.
part of a team.
Everyone wants to see
Yeah,
a full
and,
match.
you know,
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in India,
What's the
especially in the
latest?
IPL,
Well, the
it's
forecast
a
is saying
whole
we should get
different
some clear
ballgame. It's
skies after
intense,
a bit of
it's high
cloud cover
pressure,
early on.
And the article
That's
talks
what we
about
like
how
to hear.
Should
Stubbs
be a good
actually
night for
struggled a
cricket.
bit when he first got to Mumbai.
And speaking of good
Yeah,
cricket,
it was a big
we've got
adjustment
to talk
for him.
about Rajat
The article
Padigar.
says it was
Knows
difficult
this
because
ground,
there's just cricket
Eden
everywhere.
Gardens so well.
Cricket on TV
Back
in
in
the
the
hotel,
2022
cricket on TV
IPL
in the
Eliminator,
lobby.
playing for
People
Lucknow
constantly
against
wanting
KKR right here at
photos.
Eden
Like you can't
Gardens.
escape it.
He had
Yeah,
an
and for
absolute
someone like
blinder.
Stubbs,
Just
who's
incredible,
so focused and so
unbeaten,
driven, that must have been really
112
tough.
off 54
But the article
balls,
does say that
the highest
he eventually
IPL score
adapted
ever
to
at
the
this
environment.
venue.
Which
12
is huge,
fours,
right? Because if you
7
can't
Can you
handle that kind of
imagine?
pressure,
Unbelievable.
you're not
And
going to
now,
last long in the
KKR
IPL.
versus RCB.
Yeah, it's not just about your
Same
skills
ground.
on the field. It's also
Same
about your
batsman.
mental toughness.
Yeah. And
Gotta
so the
wonder
article
what kind of
wraps up
impact
by
that has
talking
on a
about how
player's
Stubbs
mindset,
is
going
now
back
playing
to a
for the
place
Delhi
where they dominated
Capitals.
like that.
And they're really excited
That's
to
a
see
great
what he
point.
can do in
You know,
this
you've done it
upcoming
before on
IPL
this
season.
ground. That has
Yeah,
to be
there's a
huge
lot of
mental edge,
anticipation
the
around him.
familiarity.
And the article ends with this kind
maybe
of
even a
hopeful
sense of
note
ownership
saying,
over those
if
conditions.
this article can
especially when you look at
inspire
who he's
Stubbs
up
to
against.
return to the bicep
RCB
form in the
factor plus this
IPL, then
Virat Kohli,
why
Glenn
not?
Maxwell.
And that word guy pad,
Padigar's
it
already
basically
shown he can
means
rack up a huge score
brilliance
against the strong
or
side at Eden Gardens.
magnificent.
Makes you think.
So,
can we do it
they're
again?
setting
That's
the
a whole
bar
other
pretty
layer to
high
this
for him.
matchup, for
Yeah,
sure.
they're expecting big
So
things.
there you have it.
So to
IPL
sum it all up for you,
2025
the
kicks off
listener,
with the
Tristan
opening
Stubbs,
ceremony at 6
he's
p.m.
a very
IST
energetic
at
and
Eden
passionate
Gardens, followed by
cricketer.
KKR
He's
versus
very
RCB.
deliberate about
The
his
weather
career
looks good.
choices. He's
And
not
Rajat
chasing
Padidar's
money,
history
he's
at
not
this
chasing
very
fame.
ground as a whole
He's
other
looking for those
dimension to this game.
opportunities where he can
You know
really
what's really
be fully
interesting,
invested in
though?
the team.
It's how a player's
And the IPL
past
is definitely one of
performance
those
at a
opportunities. He's
specific
financially
venue
secure.
can
He's shown
really
that he can
build up
adapt to the
the
demands of playing in
anticipation.
India.
It adds so much
and now
potential,
he's ready to take on the IPL
regardless
with
of what's
Delhi
happening with the
Capitals.
teams at the moment.
And all of
Yeah,
that
and
leads
that
to one
leads to a
final thought
question
for you
for
to
our
consider.
listeners.
We've
Think
seen
about this.
how important
Given
internal
Rajat Padidar's
motivation is for
incredible
Stubbs.
record-breaking
He's not
innings
easily
at
swayed
Eden
by
Gardens,
external pressures.
how much do you think
So,
a player's
how much
past
do you think
success
things
at
like
a
media
specific stadium
attention or public
can actually
expectations
influence their
actually
mindset
affect
and the
the
outcome
player's
of a
performance?
completely new match?
It's an interesting question,
Food for
right?
thought
Like how
as the
much
IPL
does
season
all that
gets going.
outside
Absolutely.
noise
We'll be
really
back soon with
matter
another
when
deep
you
dive.
See you
have
then.
someone
Take care.
who's so internally driven?
Yeah, that's a great question to think about. So that's it for our deep dive on Tristan Stubbs. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of cricket.
See you then.